friends, neighbors, admirers. Welcome to this episode of Conspiracy Theories with me. I have a passion. Like everyone else, I have a passion. And my passion runs really deep in my veins. It is a passion for stories. And the story that I'm about to tell you about today is a really good one. So shout out to Milea for telling me about this, because it is probably one of the most interesting conspiracy theories that I have ever heard about. Hey, what's up, you guys? Okay, whatever. Through a personal anecdote, as someone who grew up in Europe, the idea of the United States is a strange one. It's a place that I know it exists, like I know it's a real place, but it feels entirely fictional. My relationship or my understanding of the US is almost exclusively one that I have from watching American movies or listening to American music or seeing bizarre news stories and being absolutely baffled at what Americans get up to. Today I'm gonna talk about Bohemian Grove, or the Bohemian Club. According to Wikipedia, the Bohemian Club is a private club with two locations: a clubhouse in the Nob Hill district of San Francisco, and the Bohemian Grove, a retreat in the north of Sonoma County in California. So, Bohemian Grove, or the Bohemian Club, is an exclusive gentlemen's club based in San Francisco and California. That's to say, there's a club, like a club in the city of San Francisco, and then there's a big campground in this restricted, exclusive part of California. This society, this club, owns 2,700 acres of restricted campground. And this restricted campground is used for secret, mysterious purposes that they won't disclose. Once a year, all members of the Bohemian Club go to this camp for 2 weeks without their families and wives and children. Some say they hold secret meetings there. Some say they do other things. Some say it's more like a business situation where they talk business. No one really knows. And the club is really, they're really exclusive. They won't say much. They have been going to this retreat since the early 1900s. And actually has been a place where some really impactful encounters have happened. For example, in 1942, when Ernest Lawrence, J. Robert Oppenheimer himself, and presidents of these Ivy League schools like Harvard, Yale, and Princeton, they met there together, and actually, that meeting between these different people led to the atomic bomb. So that's really, a big deal. Other members, well-known members, are presidents like Ronald Reagan, Richard Nixon, and even writers like Mark Twain and this guy called Walter Cronkite, who I don't know who he is. I'll maybe put something somewhere to let you know why this person is important. But so some really quite, well-known men attend this club, probably even today. I don't know anything about what members are part of it now that we might know, and there's probably a reason why I'm not supposed to know that, or why that's not, knowledge that's readily available. They don't accept women ever. They've made 2 exceptions. The last one was back in the 40s, and since then they've not accepted any other female members. Even the workers that kind of maintain the campground or the club in San Francisco, they're only male workers. There are female workers, but only during daytime. They go home at night. So this is really, whereas the male workers would stay overnight, the female ones go home. Actually, it's so secretive that the campground itself is guarded by ex-military security guards. They use high security equipment like motion sensors, night vision cameras, and vibration detectors, but still people have been able to get in, When there are really high profile members attending the retreat, the sheriff, I can't believe you guys still have sheriffs, the sheriff of California and the US Secret Service actually come and patrol the campground. So there are really high profile, important people here coming to this camp every year since like sometime in the 1900s. It's so strange to me that no one is talking about this, or that no one seems to really care. They have a lot of facilities available to them, to the members, of course: a stage, a field circle, a museum stage, dining circle, I don't even know what that means. Also, what's a field circle? I don't know. A clubhouse, and of course, an owl shrine. Yeah, I know. I'll try to put some pictures so you guys can understand. This is really weird. That they sacrifice an effigy of a baby. In 2000, a man called Alex Jones and his cameraman Mike Hansen entered the grove and filmed what they said was a ritual sacrifice. Let's talk about this child effigy business and ritual sacrificing and all this stuff. So yeah, it's you might think like this camp is just another one of those ways that the rich people can kind of do something that's exclusive and only for people with money or fame or whatever wealth. Every single year at the start of this 2-week camp, the members do a really big stage production of a particular theatrical play called The Cremation of Care. And I think what's important to understand here is that the word care back in the day apparently didn't mean care in the way that I care about you or anyone else. It would actually mean worry. So the cremation of your worries. Which makes things kind of make sense, but at the same time, I don't think it makes anything less creepy. So all of the members take on different roles and do this full production. I find this really campy. Actually, I find it really funny that they all go and they dress up in like dark hoods, and there's one guy who's supposed to be like a priest, and yeah, that show ends with them sacrificing an effigy of a baby to supposedly that owl shrine, because that's performed right in front of that big owl, which I will show actually. And it's crazy. And the point of that whole show, they say, is to banish worldly cares. And so I'll say it in a different way. So the show is supposed to symbolize the banishing of worldly cares and the salvation of the trees by the members, because this is Sonoma County is I think I'll have to double check, but I think it's a place where there are those really big like redwood trees that only exist in America. They're like crazy big, crazy old as well, like ancient trees that are able to grow really, really tall. I think that's what it is. I don't know. I'll have to like really check that. But that would make sense. Like some kind of weird like way for them to have 2 weeks off from all of their worldly cares and all of their big business ventures. And yeah, we have to sacrifice a baby for what? I don't get it. But they really do that. So every year these members actually do show up to this camp and actually do this play that ends with them sacrificing an effigy to like this owl shrine. They sacrifice this effigy to the owl shrine. Well, I did some digging, and I had kind of heard about this from a different video. I wanted to bring it up. I did some more research on it. I found it really interesting. And this will lead me to an even more interesting point in the end. So, the idea of like an owl god or something like that is not entirely new. This is kind of a reach, I will say, but I think it's still kind of worth mentioning because of the point I will make afterwards. So, in the Hebrew Bible, there's a certain god that's mentioned several times, being given illegitimate place of worship. And this god is called Moloch, or Moloch, or Molech. It's not a god that I've heard anything about. I'm not Christian or whatever, so I don't know about this. Even back in the day when we would be studying religion, I never heard about this. This god was a god that people were worshipping. That was a false deity or a foreign deity. And so Moses said unto the people, "You shall not give any of your children to devote them by fire to Moloch, and so profane the name of your God." So I find that really funny because these members are sacrificing a baby to a god by lighting it on fire. That's really funny to me that, you know, do you see what I'm saying? I think I don't need to explain how you can connect those dots. And it's so funny to me that this is happening. This is real. No one's doing anything about it. We can't do shit about it. They just do this every single year. They're all sacrificing an effigy to, I guess, Moloch or whatever it's called. Like, I guess they're just doing that every year. That's just so strange. Like, I'm just baffled, you know? I don't understand. So yeah, that's another theory, that they're actually worshipping this foreign deity or this false god every single year. And I had a talk with my friend Milea that I mentioned earlier, where we were like, they probably don't believe in this god anymore. They probably did for a certain, you know, as a, like, it probably started as like a joke or some kind of like weird, you know, it's like how like Saltburn is like, you know, the movie Saltburn that came out just recently, how there's like, they do these weird things but no one wants to do them. They just do it because they're scared of what could happen if they don't do them. So I think that's probably the case. Is like, people just do this, like, it's like peer pressure. Like, they're scared what's gonna happen if they don't do it. Like, just in case something really bad happens if we don't do it, let's just do it every year until the end of time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's really what's going on. I hope that's what's going on. I hope they don't actually believe in this. Like, that would be even more scary, you know? Yeah, I don't understand, like, how this is all happening. I don't understand it. But it's not the first time that, like, something that kind of seems, I mean, to me, the idea of, like, having to sacrifice an effigy of a baby, which to me is the most innocent thing to exist in this world, is like baby anything, you know? The idea of having to of having to light something so innocent and pure on fire in order to banish your worldly cares is the most horrific, insane thing I've ever heard. And you know what, like, I want to say something. I think it's embarrassing that these members have found this, like, have found this ritual and keep doing it. I think it's absolutely embarrassing. I think you're all, this is me talking directly to the members of the Bohemian Club. If you're a member of the Bohemian Club and you're like googling this and you found this video and are you watching it and you're gonna go tell the other members, oh my god, they know some stuff, like, or they're lying about us or whatever, listen to me, bro. You're embarrassing. You're embarrassing for wanting to banish your worldly cares. You have all the money in the world. Normal people don't get to banish their worldly cares. We have to deal with them. We're grown adults. We're trying our best. Maybe you need to start doing that too. Maybe you need to start being there for your children. Try to be a good father, try to be a good husband, or try to be a good person. Try to actually sincerely be a good person and not just be a performative human being. Try to change your life in that way. That was me giving life advice to the members of the Bohemian Club, because I think it's embarrassing. I think it's the most stupid thing ever. It's such a rich person thing to say that they need to go on a retreat to banish their worldly cares. I'm like, bro, like, normal people don't get the fucking choice to go on a retreat to banish our worldly cares. That's ridiculous. To me, that's absolutely ridiculous. I hope it means nothing. I truly hope it means nothing, because, girly, I'm not ready for this. I do not want to deal with these people. The fact that they really exist, the fact that there's a lot of members, just makes me so mad. And of course, they're not gonna let women into this club, because if there were women in this club, women would be like, what the fuck are you thinking about? Women would not let this absurd business continue. So yeah, just to conclude, this summer, all of these high-profile, rich, wealthy, maybe even famous men will be showing up to this retreat in Sonoma County in California. For 2 weeks, they will be at this campsite, all by themselves. Only men are allowed in. This will really happen. They are really gonna step up on that stage in dark cloaks and sacrifice another child effigy to, I guess, that owl shrine. That is really going to happen. Like I said, I have a really weird relationship with the United States, because it's like fiction to me. It's not real. But this really is gonna happen. They are really gonna do that. So you do with that information what you will. I think that's really strange, and that's really unsettling. But I guess at the end of the day, it's like we can't do anything. And I think that's what makes conspiracy theories so intriguing, is that we have this information, but we can't do anything about it. There's nothing we can do other than to know that they're doing it. We can't stage a revolt. For what? We don't even know what they're doing there. Well, at least they don't want us to know. So, but that's what makes it so interesting. So just so you know, it's a real thing. They're really gonna do it. They really do that every single year with the cloaks and everything. Strange.